Okay, hi everybody, and welcome to Age's Cozy Crochet Corner, where today on the corner we will be working on the Doris uh, cable hat, and it's quite chunky hat. It has a long brim, as you can see. Let me see. It gives a lot of flip up, and the pattern on the top makes it quite full and chunky. I absolutely love this hat. So a lot of people have been asking me what goes well with the Doris scarf, and this is the hat that I make with the Doris scarf. So I have two sizes for this one, and it's the small adult and the large adult. We'll be going over the small adult today, but I will put the numbers for the large adult at the top. The only other thing is if you do not want your brim to be this wide and have this much flip up, then you can just decrease the size, the amount we're going to chain to begin. And we're going to chain both of them. Either size you're doing, chains the same way to start the brim. So we're going to get right into it. And again, we're going to do the small adult size, but I will put the numbers up when I get to different points when the pattern changes for the different sizes. I'll put the adult large numbers up when it's time for those to come up. So yeah, we're going to get right into this hat. I'm going to be using worsted weight 4 yarn, and we're going to be working with a 5mm hook. Okay, so let's get right into it. So I'm using, I think this is cornflower blue, so I'm just going to use this, and we're going to move this out the way. And the first thing we're going to make is that brim area. So I'm going to take and chain 25. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Now, if you want to make the brim area smaller, the only other size I would do is chain 25, and everything else is still the same as what I'm going to show you. So we're going to yarn over, and not in the first chain from the hook, but into the second. We're going to go in and make a half double. And we're going to half double all the way down this row. Okay. And the whole brim area is going to be worked in half doubles. All the way down. Nothing but half doubles. Okay, so at the end of this going down the foundation chain, the end of this first row, we should have 24 half doubles. So when we get to the end, we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn our work. So now we're going to yarn over, and if you look at your piece, before I yarn over, let me show you this. If you look at your work from this angle, you'll see that there's a stitch here. I mean, you can see like a V, and we're not going to go in that front stitch, but we're going to go into just that back loop. Okay, so it's going to be back loops only all the way for the rest of the brim. Okay, so we're just going into that back loop. So we will go into the first stitch, but just in the back loops, and make a half double. Just into the back loops and half double. Back loops and half double. And we're going to continue that out all the way to the end of this row, as well as every other row in this brim area. We will be doing back loops only. Now, when we get to the end of the row, the only thing we want to remember is that in the last stitch, we will not go through the back loop only. We will go through both of the loops. Okay? So last stitch in the row goes through both of the loops. Chain 1 and turn your work. And now we'll do that again. Go in the back loops only in the first stitch, half double. Back loops only, half double. Back loops only, half double. Remember, we come to the end of the row, the last one in the row, we go through both loops and make our half double. Then we're going to chain 1, turn our work, and we'll continue that pattern, back loop only, all the way until we get to row 44. Okay, so we're going to go doing the same thing till we have 44 rows. Okay, so I have now gotten to my 44th row. So I made 44 rows. Now remember, there are we chained 25, and there are 24 half doubles in each row. That number is going to carry out from the beginning all the way to the end. Okay. And for the large adult, you're going you if you've done the large adult, it was 48 rows. But once I finish my 44 rows, I'm going to close it like this. I'm going to chain up one, and now that we have it together, we're going to slip stitch in each stitch, going all the way down from the beginning to the end. Okay, so slip stitching, we're going to go into the first stitch, and we're going to match up with the same stitch on the opposite side. Pull our yarn through and pull our yarn through it again to slip stitch. So we're going to slip stitch all the way down. Okay, so when we get to the top, we're going to chain one. I'm going to open it out. Now this is the side where the brim will flip up like this, okay? So we're going to continue working on this side. So I want you, before we make, because we're going to make a row of single crochet around here, but we have to be particular in how many single crochets we put in. Okay, our pattern, we're going to be working, our cables work in sets of 6, and then we're going to be doing something else in the next set of 6. So in order to keep it flowing around the circle, so where we don't have the same thing happening at the same time, we're going to say we're working in sets of 12, okay? And that's because the one pattern, one thing that we're going to do is 6, and the next thing we're going to do is 6. So by the time we come all the way back around, we're even, and we don't have the cable and cable sitting here. We'll have two different things here. So for the small hat that we're doing, the small adult that we're doing, we need to put 60 single crochets all the way around. Okay, now for the adult large, we're going to be putting 72 single crochets all the way around. But no worry, I have a way to do that without getting confused and where the stitches go. So if you look at your rows and you see where your little ridge comes up like this, we have 2 rows of half doubles in between. You see 2 rows here, and we look here, we see 2 rows here, here we see 2 rows, okay? And it's all the same way all the way around. So within these 2 rows, for the small, we're just going to be alternating how we put them in. But for the large, you're just going to be putting 3 single crochets in each one of these spaces. So in each space, 3, 3, 3, and you get it, right? 3. But for the small, we're going to alternate these. Now for the small, we're going to be putting, we'll do 4 with 3, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, and 3 here. But for the next set of 2, we'll just be putting 2, 1, 2, and we'll do that 2 times, 1, 2, and then we'll go back to putting 3. Okay. So let's work that out and you'll see exactly what I mean. So we've chained up 1. So we're going to start here, right? And we're going to put a single crochet here. Then we're going to go in the middle and put a single crochet here. And for right here, we'll put a single crochet. So we have 3 in this space. Now we have to do that for 4 spaces. So let's go here, put a single crochet here, go in the middle and put a single crochet there, and we'll go here and put a single crochet here. Now we worked over that space. So we come to our next space, put a single crochet here, put a single crochet in the middle, and put a single crochet here. And here, single crochet in the middle, single crochet, and here, single crochet. So over those 4 spaces, and we're counting the spaces in between here, right? We put 3, 3, 3, and 3. Now for the large, you'll just keep doing that all the way around. But for the small, the next 2 spaces, we have to alternate. So now we're going to be putting just 2 in the space for 2 spaces. So 1 and 2. And this one, 1 and 2. Now we'll go back to doing 4 spaces with 3 single crochets in it. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Again, 1, 2, and 3, and one last time, 1, 2, and 3. So now we're going to go to our next 2 spaces, 1 and 2, and we're going to just work 2 single crochets in each space. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. And now we'll be doing 1, 2, 3, and 4, these spaces with the 3 again. 1 in the middle, 2, and 3. And in this space, 1, 2, and 3. And in this space, 1, 2, and 3. And the last one, 1, 2, and 3. Now the next 2 spaces, we just put 2 single crochets in each space. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. The last 4 spaces are going to get the 3 single crochet in each space. 2, 3, 1 in the middle, 2 and 3, and 1, 2, and get in there, 3, and the last one, 1, 2, and 3. Now once we get to the end, we're going to slip stitch. Matter of fact, before we slip stitch, let's count and make sure we have our stitches, okay? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, and 60. So I have my 60. So now I'm going to slip stitch into the first single crochet we made in this row. And I'm going to chain up 1, and I'm going to go right back into that first one and make a double crochet. Now this whole row will be double crochets. So I should have 60 double crochets along this whole row. So now that I've gotten back to the beginning, I want to slip stitch into the first double crochet. I'm going to chain 1, and this is where your pattern is going to really begin. So we're going to start with our cable stitches, and I want you to look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6 stitches we have right here, okay? So we're going to skip the stitch, the first stitch, the second stitch, and the third stitch. We're going to yarn over 2 times, and we're going to make a treble around this stitch, the fourth one. Yarning over 2 times. Now we're going to go to the 5th one, and we're going to make a treble around that one. Yarning over 2 times, and then we'll go to the 6th one, and we'll make a treble around that one. Okay. So your work should look like that. So now we're going to yarn over 2 times, and we're actually going to reach behind those 3 stitches we just made to get back to the first one, okay? And we're going to go behind the first one, and then you might want to flip this down so you can see it. And we're going to make a treble there. Yarning over 2 times, reaching behind the 3 that we just did. We're going to find the second one that we skipped, and we're going to go behind that one. Then pull this down so you can see it. And we're going to make another treble. Yarning over 2 times. Again, we're going to reach around behind the ones we worked. We're going to find that third one we skipped. Pull this down, and we're going to work behind that one to make another treble. And when we lift our work up, we see that we've crossed over. So that's 6 stitches. So in the next stitch, we want to place a half double crochet. 1/2 double crochet. And in the next stitch, another half double crochet. Now around the next stitch, we're going to do a front post. So we're going to yarn over, go behind that double crochet, and we're going to make another double crochet. Yarn over, and the next stitch we want to work behind it, and we're going to make another double crochet. And then in the next 2 stitches we're going to do half double. 1, and the next one another. And this right here is going to be what we repeat all the way around this row. We'll walk over it again. We're going to look at the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to skip the first 3. 1, 2, 3, and around the 4th, we're going to work our treble. Yarning over 2 times. We're going to go to the next stitch and work our treble. Yarning over 2 times, following stitch, and work our treble. Now we're going to come back to the 3 stitches that we skipped. Yarning over 2 times, I'm going to reach behind my work and find the first one that we skipped and go behind it. I'm going to pull that down so I can see it, and I'm going to make my treble there. Yarning over 2 times, reach behind our work again, find the next one that we skipped, go behind it, pull this down out your way, and we're going to make our next treble. Yarning over 2 times, going behind our work, go behind that double that the last double that we skipped, and we'll make our last treble to complete our cable. And now again, we're going to put a half double in the next stitch, and half double in the stitch after that. And now we're going to do a front post following stitch. So make your double crochet, yarn over, go behind, and make your double crochet. And then in the next 2 stitches we will half double. And this pattern will repeat itself all the way till we get back around. So when you get to the end of your row, you should be ending on a half double, okay? And you're going to slip stitch into the top of this treble right here, the first crossover treble that you made. Slip stitch there, chain 1. All right, now in this row you're going to be going around these posts and making them more identifiable, okay? So we're going to be working front posts around each of these. So we're going to yarn over and go behind this treble and make a double crochet. Yarn over, go behind this one and make a double crochet. Yarning over again, going behind this one and make a double crochet. Yarn over. Now you might have to slightly move these aside to see the 3 that you made behind, but you want to go with the first one. You see, slide it out the way again, and you see those 3. You want to go with the first one, go behind it and make a double crochet, and here go behind it and make a double crochet, and here go behind it and make a double crochet. Now when you have half doubles, you're going to continue with a half double. So the next 2 stitches are half double. And around the front post that we have here, we're going to continue with the front post. And around this one, front post. And the half doubles stay half doubles. So we'll place half doubles there. So again, we want to do our front post around this treble. And again around this one. And around this one. Now we want to reach behind here, pull, just separate them, and go behind that one and make your double crochet. And the next one, go behind it, make double crochet, and behind this one as well, make a double crochet. And next stitch is our half doubles. In the front post, we go behind it and make another double crochet. Go behind it. And our half doubles stay half doubles. So we're going to carry that out to the end of this row, going all the way back around. Okay, now I've gotten back to where I began, and I'm going to slip stitch right into the top of the double crochet that we began with. Chain 1. And now we're going to do our cable crisscross pattern again. So I'm going to skip the 1, 2, and 3, and I'm going to go over here into the 4th one, and I'm going to make a treble. And into the 5th one, placing a treble, and the 6th one, treble, yarning over 2 times reaching in, back, and around. I'm going to go to the first one I skipped and go behind that and make a treble. Yarning over 2 times. I'm going to reach behind that and I'm going to go to the next one that I skipped and make a treble. Yarning over 2 times. I'm going to reach behind and go to the third one I skipped and make a treble. And now our next stitch will always be half double. Again, half double. Maintain your front post by doing another front post. Double crochet right around there. Go behind it. Grab your yarn. Double crochet. And then 2 half doubles. So we will be decreasing at some point, but until we get there, this area right here will stay the same. Half double, front post, half double, half double. The only thing that's going to change is the alternating these rows where we place the cable and the next row where we're going to come in and we're just going to do a front post around each one of these. Okay, but I'm going to work it row by row with you. But carry this out, going over your cable stitch again, all the way till you get back around to the beginning. Don't forget, skip 3, treble, go all the way around. So now that we've gotten back to the beginning, we're going to slip stitch into that first treble and we're going to chain 1. Now this is going to be a front post and we're going to front post over all of our cable stitches. I'm going to pull that apart. Okay. And now we're going to do our half doubles. Oh, I did 3. Was not supposed to do that. Our front post. Another front post. Half doubles. Half double. And then we'll continue doing our front posts around our trebles. All right, and we're going to do this all the way to the end of the row. Okay, so we've gotten back to the beginning. We'll slip stitch into the first double crochet, chain one, and then this row we're gonna make our cables again. So skipping 3, treble around the 4th one in, and treble around the 5th, treble around the 6th one, and then treble, come back around and come to the first one we skipped, and make a treble. And the second one we skipped, and the third one we skipped, maintain this section with what's already there, half double, half double, front post, and front post, half double, half double, and keep that out for the rest of this row. So I'm back around to the beginning, slip stitch here, chain one, and now we'll just be doing front posts around our cable stitches. And we'll just keep on maintaining our half doubles and our front posts. So we're going to go all the way around with this. And I'll see you on the other side. Alright, so I'm back around to the beginning again. We're going to slip stitch into that first double, chain one, and now we're back to making a row with our cables. So we skip 3 and we place our treble to the 4th stitch, and then we're in the 5th, and this is the 6th. Reaching back, grab the first one we skipped, and the second, and the third. And then we'll maintain this area. Half double, front post, front post, All right, so do that all the way until you come back around to the beginning. Okay, now I am back to the beginning, and I'm going to slip stitch right into that first treble and chain one. Now this row is where our decrease is going to begin, so we can start closing off our hood. Okay, so the cable area will not change. We'll be still doing the same thing we've been doing with the cable area. This area will slightly disappear. Okay, so we're going to do our front post over our trebles. Just and now this area we're going to start to decrease. So let's look at these two half doubles. We're going to decrease these starting here. We're going to go into the first half double, grab our yarn, pull up, go into the second half double, grab our yarn, pull up. We have 4 loops on our hook. We're going to take off all 4. So we turned these 2 stitches now into 1. So we're going to go over our front post. I'm going to make front post again. And again, over these 2 stitches, we will decrease. You'll yarn over, go into the first stitch and pull up. Oh, sorry. Go into the second stitch and pull up. We have 4 loops on our hook. Yarn over. We're going to take off all 4. So again, we've turned these 2 stitches into 1 stitch. And we're going to continue doing our front post around our cable, treble stitches. And now we're back, and we're going to decrease again in this area. Yarn over. We're going to go in the first half double space and pull up. Go into the second and pull up. 4 loops on our hook. We're going to take off all of them. And now we're going to do our front post. And again, with the half doubles, we'll go in and pull up, go into the next one and pull up and take off all 4 loops for our hook. And we'll continue to do that all the way around till we get back to the opposite side, decreasing only in our half double area, all the way around, and every area decrease. Okay, decrease. All right, now I'm back around at the beginning. We're going to slip stitch into that first double crochet, chain 1, and now we are on a cable row where we cross. So we're going to skip 3 and treble into the 4th, and then treble into the 5th, treble into the 6th, and reach around back all the ones we missed. Now we come back to this area. We have already decreased here and here. So now we're going to completely ignore these sides and we're going to skip them. And our front posts, we're going to bring them together. So I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go behind both of them. So we're skipping the stitch, the half doubles where we decrease. We're not going to work in these. We're going to leave them alone from here on out. And we're just going to bring the front post together. So we're yarning over. We're going to go behind both of them. You're going to go behind both of them together and make one double crochet like that. So I'm going to show you again once we make another cable. Go back to the one we skipped. Okay, so turn this around some more, yarn over, and again we're skipping where we decreased the half doubles. We're no longer working these, and we're going to bring the 2 front posts together just like that. And you're going to do that for the rest of the row. We're going to work our cables. And then skipping these 2, we're going to bring our front posts together and go right into our next cable. So do that until you get to the end of the row. Okay, so I am back around where I started. I'm gonna slip stitch into the top of the treble that we began with, chain one, and now on this row, of course, we're just doing front posts around our trebles. Now, this area we are going to totally forget about. We're going to leave it alone. And we're going to jump right back to our next cable, and we're going to keep making our front posts. See how that nicely just fades right on out. We're going to skip right over this and go right into our cable, making our front posts around our trebles. And that's all we're doing for this whole row. It's just going into our cable area and putting front posts on the trebles. You can skip right over that area and go right into your treble. And place that double crochet around it. And we are back now at the beginning, so we're going to go right through the top of the first double crochet and chain one. Now this is going to be our last row, and it's going to be a row of cables. So we're just going to work our cable all the way around this whole row. It should be a row of nothing but cables. So go around the top with your cables, and we'll come back in and close this up. Okay, so I am back to where I began at, and I'm just going to slip stitch into the treble, the first treble that we did, and then I'm going to cut my yarn, but I want to cut my yarn a little long because I'm going to do some closing and weaving in with my yarn. So now I'm just going to take and I'm going to pull that long string through and then close this tight here. Now we're going to get our yarn needle. And we're going to feed this through there. And now we're going to use this to close off the top. So I want to go in between, back and forth, the very tops. And pull through. I'm going to keep doing this so we get all the way to where we started. Okay, and then we're just going to pull that tight. But I'm also going to go across in that way. And diagonal. We're just going to keep going until we know for sure everything in the top is completely and utterly closed off. Great way to check and see. Push your hand through there and see if you can come up, and you can't. And once you can't, I'm going to take this on the opposite side. And this is where I'm going to make a couple knots. And weave this in. Now I always close my top off and lock it before I put one of these on. So if you're not going to put one on, you can just weave this in and out through here and cut your yarn. If you are, just take your needle back on the opposite side. Fine. Let me find the little tab. Yeah. See, it's a little tab right there. Elastic tab. And I'm going to run my hook through there. And I'm just going to attach this on right in the center of my top of my head. And I'm going to come back through there again. Do it one more time. And now I'm going back on the opposite side again. do all that. And now I'm going to weave this in. Cut my yarn. Now, from where we begin, I need to weave this in. And let's fold up our brim. And your brim should come to right here. And then you have it, the Doris cable hat. Okay. I absolutely love this hat. It is, like I said, it's chunky, it's full, it's warm, it's just perfect. So for all of you who ask me over and over, I am glad I finally brought this to you. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Follow on social media sites on Instagram and Facebook. And as always, until next time, I will see you guys in the comment section. And thank you for creating with me today. Ooh, ooh, ooh.